Oh hi you guys, and welcome to our City of Mists campaign. Today we are picking up on episode 1 of our Mystery City of Mists series. Last week we did a session 0 where we recapped and learned really the basics of the game. So this week we're hoping to get into the real meat and veg of it. And I need to stop using that saying, I hate it. And we'll go from there. So if you guys are interested in the show, interested in our little community over here, here are our social links. The Discord, I can happily brag, are some of the nicest people I've ever met on the internet. I've managed to collect them all into one place. It's very worth being a part of. Get in there. Twitter, if I do a lot of one-shots throughout the week. If you want to have a game, pop me a DM on Twitter and we'll get you a game. And YouTube is where we catch up on all the other games.
Looks like we got a new friend.
Thank you, Cap. I also have a Patreon and some merchandise. And if you want to interact with the show today, you can interact in the form of donating nat 1s, nat 20s, good things, bad things, specific things, or wild magic surges. All of those are viewable and prices in the donation tab below, so please do check that out. However, I think that is enough from me. So let's go get our plucky adventurers. Yeah, let's bring in our players for today. Oh, hi, you guys. You are live.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello. So last week we had our session 0. Today we start into the main campaign. As we go around today, as well as introducing your characters, could you give a little recap of your character as you've learnt them from the session 0? So we'll go round the screen in L-shaped order. We will start with Miss Dinah Kennedy. Hi, Dinah.
Hello, my name's Dinah Kennedy. I'm playing myself on the show. I'm new to Twitter, Twitch, and tabletop role-playing games in general, but I'm really appreciative of you giving me this opportunity to play Scrat.
More than welcome. More than welcome. And any notes from last week?
In regards to how the session went, or what's happened in between?
Bit of column A, bit of column B. How did you? What sort of happened? Give us a gist.
Oh my goodness! So last week in the game, we all introduced our characters. It was essentially New Year's Eve, and we had to describe our day and our daily routines. And what we did is ended up meeting at the diner, which is kind of the general meeting place where all of our different characters go to, and we witnessed a murder that had occurred, and we went into this really weird place that Zippy's character described as hell, and I kind of believe him as a player. I don't know if I believe him as a character. It's weird. And yeah, we ended with a lot of mystery. And this week, not too much in between, other than I'm really anticipating to find out who the man in white is.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Dana. Next around, we have Kiana. Hi, Kiana. Same question.
Hello. Yes, I am Kiana, and I will be playing Xiulan Lee, or X, or Lee, whatever you like to call her. She doesn't really care. She is a teenage punk who works with some unsavory company. And last week she was originally going to be doing a job for the Seven Heaven, who she works for. Ended up getting shifted to a new job, going after a big mafia guy. So she started to track him down, then got involved in this weird flash forward. Hey, here's a vision of what might happen on New Year's Eve in a few days. So that was great. Xiulan had no idea what's happening. But then they got back. She got questioned a lot by everyone else, and she's not happy with that. But she seems like she's got to kind of stick around because her mark is somehow involved with this. having been the victim of the murder they saw in the vision. And looks like she's stuck with this motley crew.
Indeed. Thank you so much. Next we have my beautiful wife, Alice.
Hello. I am playing Imogen Carter. I play, I guess, just a sweet girl that her boss is a bit rubbish. She works in a diner. He barely ever turns up. If he turns up at all, so she's normally left to open, run, and close the diner, and likes to get to know the people that come into what she probably calls her diner a lot of the time because she's mainly the one running it. And again, after seeing this sort of almost like apocalyptic scene that they were introduced to, and this weird mist that came in, and weird time distorting surreal sort of scene, she's just questioning everything and probably wanting to get to know the other people who witnessed it with her.
Okay, thank you. And this week, last but not least, Zippy Zippo.
Hello, I am Zippy. I am playing John Doe, a vagrant of the city, lives on the street, lives in a dumpster, so to speak. Last week he followed this girl that he's been kind of watching amongst the other inhabitants of the city, but for several years, just because that's the way he is. He lives on the street, and it got him into just a weird I guess turn of events when they all ended up in Imogen's diner and got transported into hell. He saw somebody die, and he noticed the man was wearing white and in a limousine. Last episode, at the end of the last episode, he was watching the door to make sure nobody was kind of watching us, and suddenly the limousine sped past, and John booked it out of the diner in pursuit.
You are muted.
La, 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 la. Indeed, that is almost exactly where we left off. This week, Tool Squad won't be joining us. He's got stuck in traffic on the way back from a convention, so we'll catch him next week. But yes, so John, as you rush out of the diner, you can see this low-slung Mercedes limo speeding down the road.
I think John is going to try to follow it on foot until he realizes that it is kind of in vain, and he's going to try to.
Oh, sounds like we might be having some internet issues.
I'm sorry.
There you go.
Yeah,
yep, you're back.
It seems like having trouble Zoom today. Hello?
Hello, yep. Yeah, you're there now. Can you hear us now, Zippy?
Okay. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people having trouble with Zoom today. I don't know if it's me or if it's Zoom. He's good. Yeah. Thumbs up if okay.
You're sort of in and out. You're breaking up and then moving. You're frozen at the moment, but your sound's okay.
Oh, I think he's back.
Yeah, I don't know.
It sounds okay for the moment. We can just go ahead if you like. You were following on foot until
He's going to jump on a car. Before it goes out again, he's jumping on a car, going right behind it, trying to follow it. Boom.
Okay, just any passing car? Or are you hailing a cab or?
No, he's gonna jump onto a car. He's gonna notice that it's speeding down the highway, and he's gonna jump on the car and car surf to try to jump from car to car to keep up with this Mercedes so he can jump on the car itself, the Mercedes itself. That is his ultimate goal and intent.
Okay, well, I think that's almost certainly taking a risk.
Mm-hmm.
How would you like to proceed with this risk?
Let's see. I'm going to use Unbreakable in the sense that my resolve will not be broken. I want to bring this guy to justice. He's going to say a little bit of a whisper of prayer into his Saint Michael charm. Let's see. And I think that's all that applies right now. So we'll take a risk with 2 power tags. For a mild success.
Okay, on a mild success, you are... Okay, you can either land on the cars but take some sort of damage. You'll take a damage status but keep up, or you can safely travel but the car will you won't be able to catch up. It will be continuing ahead of you.
I'll take a status.
Okay. So why don't you describe what sort of injury you might sustain, but not so hindering that you can't keep up?
I feel like he's jumping. He's doing the Frogger kind of deal where he's on top of one car and he's jumping to the next and the next kind of deal. He's rolling off of hoods. Cars are swerving kind of deal.
Yeah.
Like, holy crap. This bum just rolled off the top of my car. And he jumps for the next car and he grabs it. And he kind of misses a little bit. He grabs it with one hand, but he doesn't grab it with his other. And as he comes down, his foot catches a little bit of the asphalt and kind of almost rolls, but not really kind of deal.
Yep.
So it's not like he rolled his ankle like he wouldn't be able to stand, but it's... Have you ever drug your feet on, like, have you ever been pushed and have your feet drug kind of deal? Think of that, but like 10 times worse because you're on a car.
Okay, so yeah, could you take a status of something like sprained ankle or clubbed foot, something like that? Something that's not too... Yeah, sprained. Just a level 1, nothing higher than that. But you can keep up with the car. So everyone else in the diner, you're sitting in the diner. John is looking out the window. He's keeping a watch. Suddenly he goes herring out the door. You hear cars screeching, crashing into one another, carnage outside, and see him sort of, if any of you go to look, you'll see him speeding away, holding onto a car from behind.
He's going to need a lawyer.
What the fuck? Okay, just looking around, is my thin man Mark still around here?
Yeah, he's still sitting in the cafe, in the diner. He's sipping his coffee. He's very happy.
God damn it. Yeah, Xiulan could definitely like duck through the window to see this madness going on. Is this
After him! Lee,
Are
we
we
gotta catch him!
Why do we have to go get him?
You're the only one that can catch him. You're the only one fast enough.
Like, Imogen is leaning out the door, just like, and looking backwards and forwards, like, did he just jump on that car?
He just jumped on that car.
Fine.
Why did you jump on the car? Like, she's just
Fine,
utterly-
fine. And she's just gonna, before she grabs her skateboard before she leaves, and just quietly imagine, if that guy, and points to the thin man, leaves, tell me when I get back. She's gonna hop on her skateboard and just,
And she's just okay.
like, she don't wait for a response, she just goes.
Yeah, she's like saying it almost like to herself, and sort of sensing that Lee doesn't want this person to leave, she walks over to like this thin man and saying, "Can I top up your coffee at all, sir?"
Yeah, that'd be nice. Thank
Yeah?
you.
No problem. And she sort of just slowly tops it up and is talking to me like, "Anything to eat, or how's your day been?"
He sort of runs a hand through greasy hair. Oh, could be better, could be worse. I'm fine for food, thank you. I'll just have coffee.
Yeah, so no problem at all. Just you let me know when you have a top up, and some people chat to me if they've had a bad day and stuff like that. So just so if you've had a bad day, don't worry, we can chat. And can I use like some of my tags on that for like the trustworthy?
Okay, you wanna?
You could be convince would be the role. Yeah.
Yeah.
You wanted to throw dice at it.
Right, I'm gonna go with my. Can I use like trustworthy, cheerfulness, and I don't know. Would learn anything be something? As in, like, because she's trying to learn about people.
Yeah, I think you could use that in this case.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're trying to learn more about his day, I suppose. So yeah, you can make that work. So you've got cheerfulness, trustworthy, and learn anything.
I think
Yeah.
that's probably it. Yeah, and it's roll a convince, isn't it? Sorry.
Roll a convince.
Okay. Oh dear, no, never mind.
No, it's okay. Thank you. I'll keep myself to myself. Thank you for the offer, though. I appreciate that.
No problem. And she sort of goes over to Dinah and it's just like, top up,
Yes, please.
and she'll head off and do that.
The thin man sort of sips at his coffee without finishing it, leaves some money on the counter, and leaves.
Did I recognize the thin man at all?
You would, from your connections, I imagine you would recognize him as a very low-key player in the entertainment industry. He works for Vincenzo or Vincenzo's men every now and again. Light entertainment.
Okay.
Which direction does he go in?
He walks out the door and walks to the right, away from the casino, away from the park, towards the suburban district.
Okay.
Lee, chasing John.
Up on her skateboard, but if it looks like it's not gonna work on the skateboard, she's gonna parkour away.
So on the skateboard, yeah, you're quicker than walking, but this is a car speeding off, and John has also managed to attach himself to a car which is moving away from this carnage of vehicles strewn across the highway.
Okay. Yeah, she's gonna notice this. So where are they? What's the roads looking like? Are there buildings on the sides of the road? What's the situation here?
Yeah. There's buildings and alleyways. It's a grid system. So there's fire escapes, tall buildings, flat roofs.
All right, she's gonna scramble up onto somebody's onto a roof, kind of keeping an eye on where they're going, if they're making any sudden turns, if they seem to be headed towards another block, etc.
So the low slung Mercedes is quite easy to pick out. The white is stands out. You can see it from the rooftops, I'd say you could see it quite easily as it goes around a couple of corners, but this is a grid system with tall buildings, so as it goes around a corner, I'm going to need you to give chase in some way.
All right, if it's going around a corner, she knows the streets, and she can be like, all right, legs, don't fail me now. I am going to tap into that little monkey inside of her, and she is going to start doing some pretty impossible parkour. She's cutting like a diagonal where if she saw it turn, she's like, okay.
Okay, so are you like jumping across streets and that sort of thing, or just across
Yup.
buildings? Okay, so
She's taking what is technically the most direct route.
I think that's also taking a risk, just like John.
Cool. I am using impossible leaps.
Mm-hmm.
Attack from any angle. Eyes on the streets, if that makes sense.
Yep, that makes sense.
And I'll apply the weakness tag of overconfidence.
Perfect.
So that's 2.
Yep.
So it's
2d6 plus 2.
The 10.
10. That is a miraculous success. Would you like to describe it?
Yeah, so if anybody would think to look up into the tops of the building, which people never do if they're locals, and Xiulan knows this, she kind of, first she tucks her skateboard back and she climbs up the top of this building, and then kind of noticing the Mercedes turn a corner, she knows, okay, they're going to get to that point in about a minute. She looks at the buildings and she just kind of takes a running start and leaps impossibly long and high across the different buildings, landing with a somersault and keeping going as she just keeps jumping from building to building, sometimes just kicking off of one of them, sometimes actually landing on the roofs or in somebody's balcony as she just kind of.
Okay, so you can see both the low-slung limo and John making their way towards the mall.
Towards the mall.
Mm-hmm. So you can see this from the rooftops, Lee, but John, you can see the Mercedes ahead as it turns into an underground parking lot.
Okay, so I'm currently on the back of the Mercedes.
Yes, that is. Yeah, you rolled to get onto the back of the Mercedes. You get onto it. It doesn't stop. It doesn't even notice you. To be fair, it just pulls into this parking lot.
He's going to, when it starts to slow down, he's going to move from the back onto. Let's see if I'm imagining this right. If they haven't looked back or looked out the rearview mirror and seen him, he's going to wait for him to slow down, because you can't go more than 5 miles per hour in the in the parking garage, and you probably can't go faster than maybe 3 if you're a limo, because you got to make those turns. So he's going to wait till it slows down a little bit, and then he's going to kind of let go and roll off kind of deal.
Stunt drivers. What if they're stunt drivers?
Oh shit. Then I am doomed.
As it happens, as they go down into this parking lot, the limo does slow right down, cautiously taking the corners.
And as they take the corners, he's going to kind of let go and roll into it, kind of deal. So he'll get back up. He'll notice that his ankles kind of like busted in a way, but he's going to kind of like suck it up. And he's going to follow this Mercedes and duck behind structure support I'm trying to think of what they are, but they're the giant cement pillars in parking garages that
Yep.
keep the ceiling from coming down. So he's going to try to duck behind those and keep an eye on the Mercedes, just to see if he can get a glimpse of the man in white.
Okay. So you can see the limo doesn't go too far. It stays close to the entrance and exit, and takes a parking space designed for a coach. A woman steps out of the driver's seat. She's got like a short black hair. She wears a hat and a dress which don't look like they're this season. She looks ever so slightly out of style. But she steps out of the limo and walks towards the mall entrance. No one else gets out of the car. It's as though she drove herself.
Would it be fair for Xiulan have clambered down? And it's kind of, having seen them going to the underground parking lot, she's not going to be on her skateboard, but she's going to kind of stick to the shadows and go inside.
Yeah, are you trying to get into the parking lot as well? Or are
Yeah.
you trying to get into... Okay, so yeah, you could probably get down there and probably see John maybe nursing his ankle behind a structural support nearby.
And the limo parked at this point?
Yeah, the limo parked at this point.
John is going to, after he sees the lady get out of the car, he's going to approach her, knowing that she's not the man in white. He's going to approach her openly, he's not going to try to sneak up behind her or anything. He approaches. Excuse me, miss.
Yes, can I help you?
I was wondering, do you have a boss that favors white suits?
No, not at all.
Yes.
Why-
Are you with some?
Why do you ask?
I'm sorry. My employer asked me to keep an eye out for a man who wears white suits and drives in Mercedes limos. Are you with a transportation service?
She sort of looks you up and down when you say the employer, but she doesn't say anything. She just... No. No, I'm not.
So sorry to have taken your time. You have a great day and a Merry Christmas. I must have been mistaken. And he's going to kind of like situate his duster and his scarf, and he's going to tie back his long brown streaked with gray hair, and he's going to be like, my employer thanks you for your time. And he turns and he walks back to the pillar and gets behind the pillar.
She reaches out to you as you turn away and puts a hand on your shoulder, and she slips you a $1 bill and says, "For your employer."
Yes. God thanks you. This will go straight to the tithe. Thank you.
And she turns to walk into the mall.
10% goes to the
Xiulan
tithe.
is just kind of watching this whole thing. She's like... So John probably sees her when she ducks back behind, and she's leaning against her skateboard.
John kind of looks at Lee and then kind of gives her a wink as he pulls out the butter knife that he swiped from Imogen's diner, and then he goes and begins to try to jimmy the locking mechanism on the trunk.
You know, she definitely gives you like a look that she wasn't expecting this. I have better ways of doing this than the freaking butter knife.
By all means, if it would keep you out of harm's way, then yes, please. I need to get into this.
I don't know if you're one to talk about. You literally jumped on a car.
I felt like I needed to. There was something compelling me to jump on the car.
Right, and there's something with your ankle now. So,
There's nothing wrong with my ankle. My ankle is perfectly fine.
okay. She's
Just
gonna
missed my
reach it.
footing.
Uh-huh. Just keep an eye out, make sure nobody else is around, although I doubt anybody would notice. And she's going to dig into her backpack and pull out a little black case that she unzips. So it opens up to be much larger, like a lot of fold outs on the inside of just various tools. She's
Okay.
gonna pick that lock.
So I'm guessing your motivation here is to investigate the vehicle. So I'll
Yep.
let you roll power tags for breaking in and searching.
Oh, good. Burglary. Lock picking tools.
Normally, I would say not to do this. This is wrong, but knowing that this man is going to kill somebody
Uh-huh.
or have already killed people,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like two negatives cancel each other out. So
That's just whatever
make
you
it
say.
quick.
Yep. And also attack from any angle. So-
Okay.
Because you're attacking those tumblers.
Yeah, we'll let it slide. Any weaknesses?
Overconfidence. So that's -1, so 2 again.
Okay.
That's a 10.
They does the party still have the story tag of Guardian Angel? Since this is kind of still the same night.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, we've literally carried straight on from where we left off, so there's not been a
Okay.
period of downtime, so everyone that you granted that status to last time will still have it.
Sweet. All right, cool.
So on a 10, you get clues equal to your power, so that is 2. You can 1-to-1 ask me a question, and I will give you a straight answer. Or a solid lead.
Okay.
Lee saw the limo as well in the premonition, right?
I know for sure she saw the tire tracks. I don't know if she saw the limo itself.
I think we all, if I remember correctly, we all saw a security video, and before the premonition went away, we saw the white man in white step out of a Mercedes with a cigar and a fuse,
Mhm.
and he lit it.
Okay.
So we do have that information.
Yeah. Okay.
Is this the same Mercedes?
Yeah.
or-
Is there something that directly links this to the vision that we saw?
Yes. The number plates match. There's a dent in the back bumper, which matches the same dent in the back bumper from your vision. You're pretty certain this is the same car.
Okay. Okay. Is there anything in here that would lead us to the man in white?
So I assume by this time we have the trunk open and we're rummaging through the contents of the trunk to see.
Yeah.
if
So you kind of
anything-
just saw Lee like take out a couple of things, and it's kind of.
Yeah. Okay. So in the boot, there is a pair of old shoes. They are two-tone shoes, black and white. but they are very old. They need shining. The soles are starting to come away from the leather. There is also a tatty top hat in the boot. There's also a number of bags and purses in there. In the glove box, there's some documentation for the car, including a sales receipt to a Miss Diana Lauri.
Diana Lauri.
Kind of.
I don't know her.
Yeah, she kind of waves it.
Hmm.
Maybe we could take it with us. We could leave it here.
Yes, you
Wait.
could. You definitely could take it with you.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Dinah has a computer that you could look to see if she has a record.
At the mention of Dinah, like, Xiulan looks a little grumpy. Yeah, she knows all sorts of people.
John places shoulder, like hands on Lee's shoulder. You did a really good job today. You weathered a vision that would break most people, and you were able to pick a lock. If this was school, I would give you an A+. This is not. This is a very dangerous situation, so I'm going to say I'm going to put you in charge of a very special mission. I need you to get that receipt to Dinah.
You know, you don't have to talk down to me like that. You know, I'm like 18, but yeah, sure, whatever.
I feel 18 as well, and if you're only as old as you feel, then I feel 18. I don't know. Okay, well, you take it to Dinah, and I'm going to stay here.
You sure? You definitely handled that situation earlier really well.
Maybe not. I'm not going to speak with her again. I'm going to tail the car.
With your ankle.
Yes.
How are you doing that? Like,
as you say that, like he's getting into the boot of the limo.
oh my god.
And I said, hopefully she doesn't take more than what is the standard? 2 hours? Yeah, 2 hours.
Are you serious?
Don't worry. I got my butter knife.
I'm gonna look inside and make sure there's a unlocking mechanism from the inside, because otherwise he's gonna be in there until somebody releases him.
This vehicle is probably a couple of decades old,
Oh my god.
and there is no locking mechanism from the inside.
When he closes it, while he's waiting, he's going to keep it slightly ajar, so there's that crack of fresh air coming through. And as soon as he hears the front door open, that's when he's going to pull it close. So unless she comes around and notices that the trunk is undone, just from at first glance, it probably just looks like it's closed.
Okay.
So he's gonna watch this. Okay.
If I don't come back in a day, just assume something has happened to me, and don't come looking for me.
Okay.
Look. You're young. You have a bright future ahead of you.
Uh-huh.
Don't need to be mixed up in this.
I think it's a little late for that.
And
Just FYI.
It may be a little bit late, but I can at least keep you far away from the action and the danger as possible. You seem like a nice kid. You seem like a bright kid. So I'm just going to go right here. And you just kind of, like Oscar the Grouch, back into the trash can.
She thinks about saying something else, but she's like, why am I wasting my time here? I'm gonna go.
Okay.
She's gonna get on her skateboard and
So
head on back.
let's go back to the diner. Imogen and Dinah, what's been going on in the diner?
I really want to tail the thin man. Not really sneakily. I kind of want to get his attention and strike a conversation with him.
Okay. So, do you want to catch him on his way out of the diner, or do you want to deliberately catch him outside of it?
I want to catch him at least a block away.
Okay. Okay. So, as you leave the diner behind, he's walking. He's not got the most confident stride to him. He's sort of like always checking left and right. He's got a very greasy appearance to him. Like he's sort of maybe down on his luck's not the right word, but he's just a bit.
He's looking for work.
Possibly, or maybe just looking for more work.
Let's find out.
So he walks a block or so. How do you get his attention?
Well, I'm going to kind of cross in front of him a bit. I'm going to kind of fake a trip as if my heel gave out from under me. And then what I will do is kind of let out a, oh, and see if he looks or says something or checks to see if I'm okay. And if he doesn't, I'm going to kind of stumble up to check to see if anyone saw me. And since he's there, I'm going to be like, oh, how embarrassing, and strike up a conversation.
So at first, he does sort of look, but he looks as though he's about to turn away. When you make eye contact and say, how embarrassing, he... I guess no one saw.
Did you see?
No.
It's okay if you did.
Okay.
I know you.
I don't think so, miss.
You work for Mr. Vincenzo.
He pales. He suddenly looks as though he's going to bolt.
Don't run. You perform entertainment?
Mm-hmm.
With your hands, kind of show me what you do.
I tell jokes and do magic tricks.
Well, some of my girlfriends and mine, we're going to have a bachelorette party in about 3 days' time. And we had booked a performer, but they had to skip town. Their grandmother got sick, and it being the holidays, they had to fly across the country. And we're looking to book a comedian.
Oh.
Are you available for bookings? What's your rate?
I'm really. I mean, I can check my diary, but I think I might have some availability on the 27th. It's.
Yeah.
It's a quiet time of year.
How much material do you have? Like, how long do you typically do a set?
I can do a set for about 40 minutes to an hour.
Well, you're a headliner. You're great. You've got plenty of material. Do you have an agent? Representation?
Yes.
Well, that's great. Do you handle your bookings, or do we have to go through your manager?
No, that's fine. I can handle my bookings. I'm actually I'm not far from home. If you want, I can run up and get my diary, and I can get it all booked in.
Do you have a number I can call to confirm?
Yes.
I'll give you mine.
He pats his pockets. He's like, yes. And he pulls out a card and he hands the card to you.
Kind of look it over, study it, kind of flourish it for him.
It's the Great Marco with a number underneath. 555-272763.
It's a popular 3 digits to put in front of a phone number in these parts. All right. Well, Marco. Hopefully, I see you again.
Yeah. Well, the 27th, maybe. Hopefully, I've got availability. Yeah.
And if not, I'll double the rate of whoever has you booked.
My
And don't
agent
go
will
Don't
contact.
don't go making up that you were booked to get double the rate. I have ways of finding out. Okay.
He pales a little bit, remembering you opening this conversation with Vincenzo's name, and he's.
I'm just kidding, and I just kind of say that, just kind of slap. I'm just kidding.
Okay, well, thank you, miss. I didn't catch your name.
Bethany Dimley.
Bethany Dimley. Okay, I'll tell my agent to expect a call from you.
Okay. And I kind of, I'm headed back to the diner, and I'm gonna get Imogen. Oh, gosh, Marco. Card down.
I think you're
You're
muted,
muted?
Alice.
She's like, who was that? Like, she sort of slid down. Like the dynamite probably calmed down a little bit, but
I think he has information about the potential murder, or might be useful to get information from. I don't know if we need to call him and tie him up and interrogate him till we get all the answers, or
wait, you want to tie him
just
up
kind
here?
of poke him. No.
Okay.
Always my place.
Oh, that is, she's sort of like, okay.
Oh, not like that. Don't be silly. Wouldn't be appropriate.
Well, how do you go about that? Like, what? Hang on. So, how do we get him there? And why tie him up? Can't we ask him nicely?
Well, it's all a matter of time resource management. If he's tied up, he'll probably answer us quicker. And I would think that we need to handle things quickly, what with the potential murder, definite possible murder on the horizon. Now, we could ask him nicely. Here's how we get him there. He's a comedian. I told him we're going to be having a bachelorette party. So we get a few friends, we invite him over, and then we see what information we can get out of him. Now, there's two strategies we can use. We can pump him full of liquor, or we can tie him up. I don't think he's going to talk on his own, sweetheart. He needs a little convincing. He needs a little Dinah.
You know, some people talk loads of when you're just nice to them. I mean, we could try that first before the.
That's the first strategy.
Yeah.
Backwards.
Okay.
Just teasing.
Okay. Like, she really can't tell at the moment if you are or not.
Honest. Honesty is policy.
That's a good policy. But so when is he going to be there? If you
The 27th of December.
27th. Okay. Do you have any friends we could bring?
No.
Well, I don't. This could get a bit awkward. We could get Lee to come. She'd come along, right?
She would come along.
Okay.
I think, look, one look at my place, and she won't be able to resist stealing left and right. But that's okay, it's all replaceable.
I'm sure she wouldn't steal from you. I'm sure it's fine.
I hope she does.
Okay.
So where did John take off to? And Lee. If we're going to involve Lee, we should probably talk to her quickly before she, disappears and never sees us again.
Well, and she sort of, Imogen hops up and goes to sort of look out. She sort of steps out the front of the diner and just has a look around.
So, Lee, when John tasked you with taking this receipt back to Dinah, were you genuinely going to do that, or do you have other plans?
is headquarters on the way here? Or would I have to?
It's sort of over in the suburban districts. They work out of the suburbs.
Okay. You know, she probably knows where AJ is working tonight.
Mhm.
So she's gonna scoot on by over there. He's hang out by the laundromat.
By the way,
on the
sorry.
way. By the laundromat.
Oh, right, yep.
On the way. So she's gonna kind of take a little detour over there.
So he's been washing laundry, sort of like at all sorts of hours, casing a place across the street, maybe.
Yeah. So she kind of ducks in and just sneaks up behind him and just kind of gently kicks him in the back.
Okay. That casual greeting, the gentle kick in the back. Yep. Is he used to this sort of behavior?
Yeah. We give
Okay.
each other shit all the time.
So he's sort of like he's like lost.
It's more like a nudge, but like, you know.
Yeah. So I see him sort of like folding maybe a towel that's been washed 6 times today, and looking across the street. And as you nudge him, he sort of stumbles and he's like, "Oh,
Hey.
hey."
So I may have gotten some shit.
Tell me something new.
Don't yet. No, thanks. Don't tell boss. Yeah. I don't know, the latest job is a little weirder than I thought. So I'm gonna need you to help me out just a little.
Well, I'm gonna need clarification. What do you mean weirder?
And she thinks about it. She's like, AJ's not going to believe me if I say, oh, I had a vision about the freaking future. There's a lot of involvement with some people. You know that like hobo that like, you know, sometimes it's always like, you should be doing better to other people.
The one that follows you around?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the one.
Yeah, he's involved.
Okay. I mean, he's always like, he seems nice enough. I followed him for you for a couple of weeks. You know, he was giving people sandwiches and, you know, walking around preaching the Bible all the time. It was like he was, I don't know, trying to be like Jesus or something.
Yeah. Also, there's this like woman, Dinah Kennedy. I know Boss talks about her sometimes, but like, she's involved too, and she's gotten really nosy.
Well, from what I can make out, that is kind of her job.
Yeah. Don't tell Boss. I didn't tell her anything about, you know.
Don't tell Boss that a evidence gatherer and information collector has taken an interest in you.
Yeah. Yep.
That's a pretty big ask, Lee.
I know. Just for me, please. I'm telling you because I know you'll be able to keep it secret.
Hey, you can trust me, right?
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so what do you need? Come on.
Okay, so I was trailing a guy for the job. Except I got sidetracked, detoured, and I probably lost him.
Hang on a second. You see a person walk up to this building. They put just like a letter. It looks like a postman. And they put a letter through the door, and then carry on to the next house. And he like takes a note of that. Carry on.
Anyway, he's just kind of like tall, pale, thin dude. And it looks like he's skulking around like he has this either has low self-esteem or a secret. I don't know which one it is. Goes to the diner down the street sometimes, and goes to the casino sometimes. I know you're around here, so if you like see anything, you see them, let me know.
Yeah, okay. You got a name or something?
No, that's how sidetracked I got. I know it's not usual, yeah, but just keep an eye out.
So hang a minute. Let me guess.
What?
You were tailing this guy. He wasn't doing anything interesting. Then you saw something exciting happen and went jumping around on the rooftops. God, you're so predictable.
Shut up.
Yeah, okay. Look, I'll keep an eye out for some lanky, thin dude.
That greasy hair, wearing formal clothing.
What, like a suit or?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Again, he looks like he's always trying to avoid people. Or like, not like stick to the walls, but like, I have a secret or I have super low self-esteem.
Okay, I'll keep an eye
Or
out.
both.
I'll keep an eye out.
All right.
Now, look, stop drawing attention to me. Go on, get out of here.
All right, tell boss will be late. As always.
Yeah, I don't even need to tell her at this point.
Courtesy. See you, AJ.
See you later. No, Imogen, you can't see Lee yet.
Okay. And I sort of turn back and I look at Dinah and I'm like, well, they've got to be back soon, right? I mean, whatever they were after, they either got or didn't. They've got to come back here, right?
They don't have to do anything, Imogen.
But they always come here for coffee.
What if they didn't?
What do you mean?
What if they went out of the diner and they didn't come back? And it was because we decided to stay here and wait for them.
So
I'm just kidding, they always come back.
Yeah.
okay.
But if they don't,
what?
if they don't, you should at least explore that possibility.
Do you mean go find them?
Well, what do you think would happen if we went to find them? Walk through it.
We could. I don't know. We could find them. We could see where they ended
Where
up.
would we find them?
Or Joe could be, like John could have been run over somewhere from the looks of it.
Where? Is there any place at all, any place, that you think Lee or John would stop before coming back here?
I don't know them well enough for that. I just see them. I don't. I mean, the person I know the most is Clint, and that's because he just does the same thing every day.
Yes.
Clint, at this point, has made his excuses. He's left and gone to work.
He's always doing that.
Routine.
life.
He loves it.
It keeps him moving.
Whereas the other two, no routine.
None.
Really. I suppose John has a little bit, but Lee is just all over the place.
She'll show up sometimes, like for several weeks, and then just disappear.
I mean, I might not see her again for months. If there's a diner to come back to after whatever that, I guess we call it a premonition was.
The clock on the wall ticks over to 11 o'clock. It's 1 hour until Christmas Day.
How full is the diner right now?
It's just you and Dinah.
I was gonna say she's probably like, if Dinah's in like her normal booth,
Just
Imogen
us
would have
and
come and
mistletoe.
sat down. Yeah. And
I should.
Imogen is like sat and just sort of sat across and poured herself a cup of coffee as well, and is sort of done Dinah another one. She's like,
Well, Merry Christmas, Imogen. I think I'm going to make my way home.
okay.
Unless you think we should go find Ms. Lee.
Well, and then she sort of looks around. She's like, there's no one here, and I've only got Jerry to go back to, so.
Lee, are you heading to the diner? Yeah. So okay, we can have you like sort of coming in as they're sort of getting to the end of this conversation, if you like.
Yeah, the door opens and she kind of just slinks in.
Yeah. On time, I see.
Hi.
Ears burning?
The thin man is gone.
Yeah, she looks up and is like, God, fucking new. Okay. Yeah. I don't know what I just witnessed, but I witnessed something. And she takes out her notebook and rips out a page.
Where's
Some information for you, Miss Kennedy.
Kennedy.
Where's
I hold
John?
out my hand for her place.
John has decided that he was going to go and trail the car by being in the car.
Is John an investigator? Does he have
In
any
the
experience
car?
doing this?
I don't know.
Someone. We should probably call the jail at around 2 a.m. to check for a Mr. John Doe. Just in case. If anything happens, he'll be taken to jail. That or shot dead on sight. It's hard to tell sometimes.
They won't actually shoot him, will they?
They might.
Right.
It's a dangerous
Anyways, found the car in that weird station thing. Found a receipt with a name.
Well, what's the
And-
name?
It's on the freaking note I just gave you.
You didn't pay attention to the detail? Or you don't want to say?
I just wrote down everything.
Lee,
I didn't want to
sit
take
down.
anything. I didn't want to take anything unless like somebody going through and might have seen something.
You have potential, Lee.
Mm.
Live up to it. And then I check the paper.
So it would have had everything, the name of
Mhm.
Dinah.
So it's
Would have had
Diana-
the shop that it came from, and whatever purchase.
You're muted.
Yeah, it's come from a second-hand motor dealer. It's the limo was $500. It's been sold to a Diana Lauri. August '97. There's a bit of service history in there.
Does the name ring a bell to me? Do I know a Diana Lowry? Has that ever come across? Or
Not so much. Not Diana Lowry. You've heard of some Lowrys, but not Diana.
All right. Well, I'm gonna look at the VIN, the vehicle identification number, and her name and license number, and I'm gonna stop by the office and I'm gonna run this. Imogen, do you want to come?
Absolutely. And she quickly just starts locking up and shutting everything down.
Have a good night, Ms. Lee. Stay out of trouble. It's also past curfew.
Right.
Like, Imogen grabs her coat and looks at Lee and she's like, bye. Like,
You look young for your age.
Cool.
Lovely.
And she just kind of leaves, tucking her hands into her pockets, feeling for the receipt in there, and skateboards off.
Okay. So, John, the malls are open late tonight. It's Christmas Eve. You wait in there for a short while. It's probably around this sort of time, maybe around 11:30, where shops are starting to close. That you hear a door open on the limo. It's a go on.
As soon as he hears that, he closes the trunk close.
Okay. The door closes again. Another door opens. There's a bit of a shuffle. The door closes, and then the engine starts.
I think at that point, I'm going to invoke a flashback.
Okay.
During this time of just sitting here waiting, John would have taken the butter knife and tried to jam it through the seat to, one, create an air hole, and two, hopefully create a hole in which he can kind of peer out to see if anybody gets into the car. Kind of
Okay.
deal.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think the only power tag that would probably work is Heavenly Weapon, because when he uses this butter knife, he kind of imbues it with his faith, and makes it razor sharp so he can just kind of cut through it with ease, because it is indeed a butter knife. You know. And I think that's the only one that does it. So I'm just gonna try to change the game. I think would be the appropriate role, because I'm trying to create something.
Yeah. Okay.
Mild success. Oh, it's because I have that negative sprained ankle, but I don't feel like that would affect me trying to cut through something. I feel like that would affect me if I was trying to chase after something.
Yeah. I agree with that. So that's an 8 then.
Yeah, with a power of 1.
8 with a power of 1.
So it would just be enough to create something. So I'm just gonna put a story tag on the limo air hole, and then just use that to kind of like peer and see if I can catch a glimpse of the body that shuffled into the car.
Yeah. Okay. So you can see that it is the hand that you can see. Hang on, America. The hand that you can see, resting on the. No, you don't have a stick shift. On the hand that you can see on the steering wheel it matches the woman that you addressed in the car park.
Okay, and then there was another door. Did somebody get into the back?
No, you would have seen a flash for a moment as a package was tossed onto the back seat. It doesn't cover the hole, but she's put something on the back.
Can I try to peer and see if I can read the name of the two, like the where the package is addressed to, and who is it addressed from?
It is a sort of like a plastic shopping bag containing a box. The shopping bag says "Next for men, shoewear."
John contemplates pushing his arm through this hole to see if he could open up the box. So he's going to try to cut the hole a little bit bigger so he could try to open the box with the tip of the butter knife to see if it'll open up and he could see what color those shoes are. And I think I'll just change the game again.
I might take sneak around actually.
Okay,
I feel like you might get noticed.
let's see. I think it's just gonna be heavenly weapon again.
Yeah, I wouldn't apply the foot on this one.
Okay.
On a 10, you manage to wiggle your arm through. You can tip the box somehow without being noticed. And the lid just sort of comes away, and you can see pure white loafers. Shiny and new.
I knew it. He says out loud.
What, attracting attention, or?
Yeah, he'll just be like, aha, I knew it.
She screams.
No, miss. I know this might seem very awkward.
The brakes have been hit at this point.
Ow. Okay. All right. Don't freak out. Don't. I'm freaking out.
Yeah,
Don't freak out.
She's freaking out. The brakes have been hit. As the car comes to a stop, the door opens and she leaves the vehicle.
Don't wait. I was shoved in here by a small ruffian. I'm just a vagrant. I'm sorry.
Fuck. Been shoved in here by
Sorry.
some
Damn. Frick. Oh, man. Okay. Well, I will just... How am I going to get out of here?
From outside the car,
shit.
you can feel like someone like pushing on the boot to make sure it's closed, and you can sort of hear, "Hello, officer. Yes, there's a man in the back of my car."
Really? She has a cell phone in 1999?
999. Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess she would. She would have one of those industrial brick phones.
I'm trying to remember how old I was in 1999. I was 10. Yeah, no, she's got one of like the flip phones with like the long aerials.
Oh yeah, Primeco. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
like the Matrix ones, you know? Like, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. She has like. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. I was gonna call you. I was like, ha! Cell phones, eh?
Yeah. No. I remember that. Yeah, it's my first.
No,
phone.
I remember. I remember the Primeco phones. The Primeco little alien kind of deal.
Yeah.
He bangs on the thing. Wait, no, stop! I was shoved in here. I was put in here against... No, I wasn't. I was going to follow you home. I know it sounds really bad. I was going to follow you home just so I could see who your employer was. I think he may try to kill somebody in a week. Don't ask me how I know this. Just open the trunk and we can talk about the civil. I don't have any weapons on me. I'm totally... I don't even have... I have the dollar. You know what? How about this? You open the trunk and I will give you $1 if you open this trunk.
Looks like we got a new friend.
You can sort of like hear as the voice moves away. I'm near some houses and the mall. There might be a shop open. Yeah, okay, I'll wait there.
Oh, shit. Okay. Ma'am, I didn't want to do this. You leave me no choice. Can you please step back from the trunk? I don't want you to get hurt.
There's no sound from outside the trunk.
When he's like, okay, well, I'm going to assume that you've taken a couple steps back, and he's going to hold on to that butter knife, and he's going to imbue more of his will into the butter knife. As he does, the butter knife grows hot and like as if it was just pulled out of a furnace, and fire engulfs it and kind of takes the shape of this long broadsword as he shoves it through the top of the boot and tries to cut himself a tear that he can get out. It'll be changed to the game. I'm going to be doing flaming sword, heavenly weapon. I'm gonna divinely smite this boot. I'm going to emit a holy aura to try to keep her calm if she's around.
Okay.
But just before he lights it up, he's going to whisper into his Saint Michael bracelet. Just a little prayer. And let's change the game.
I pray you'll be alright.
Yeah, on a 13, you get a great success. I wonder if you wanted to take any weakness tags there.
There's none that would really apply. Righteous Fury would probably be if I was attacking her, and I was attacking her over my own motive.
I was more
Like-
looking at weapons forged in Hellfire.
Is the limo forged in Hellfire?
No, but I figured as you extended the battle knife, the broadsword might have been.
No, this is a weapon that has been quoted in the Bible several times when it comes
sword.
to
Mhm.
archangels and Methuselah. Methuselah had a flaming sword as well.
Okay, so you tear open this boot. You can cut right through the lock and spring it up.
Who's the first person I see?
There's no one out there at the moment.
Good. You were nowhere to be. You were you great. You were safe. Oh, Nikes. Okay. I'm just gonna put this down right here, and he tries to close it, but it won't latch because he cut right through the latch.
Yeah, just keep springing up.
Well, I'm just gonna go over here, and he takes the flaming sword and he hits the hilt of the pommel of it into the the back window, and he reaches in and he grabs the white loafers and he pulls it out, and he's like, oh, this is not how I wanted to spend Christmas. Oh God, please forgive me. And he starts running.
You take the shoes?
Yeah, he takes the shoes. He douses the butter knife. He kind of like flicks it, and then
Yeah.
the broadsword dissipates. He sticks the butter knife back into his pocket, and he's trying to like inconspicuously walk down the street, kind of like looking over his shoulder, hoping like something doesn't explode.
Okay. So City of Mist is a game all about changes to character. The way you take those changes is from you take cracks on your certain personalities, or fades on your mythos to sway one way or the other.
I'll
Yeah.
take a crack on the kind beggar man, because I basically just stole somebody's shoes.
Yeah, that's where I was heading with that one. So yeah, there we go. There's a crack there which shows the kind beggarman. Although it's got a lot of attention and it's getting a lot stronger, it's also you've acted against it, so it's more at risk. Excellent. Okay, you can sneak away. After you get round a corner, you can hear a cop car turn up. Are you heading back to one of your usual haunts for the night, or are you trying to meet anyone?
I'm going back to the diner.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? We can get there quickly. The diner is closed for the evening.
Ah, darn. Gosh. She wouldn't live right above the diner. That's too cliche. There's only one way to find out. He goes over and he like picks up some. Now, hold on. Are these cement streets or are these asphalt streets? Are they black tarred or are they stone?
I would see them as like paved stone.
Paved stone. Okay, so they're kind of like Texas. Okay, so yeah, he would pick up some of the gravel that would have chipped off over the years of wear and tear off the sidewalk, and he starts throwing it up at the house above. And he just kind of like starts doing that that classic teenage, I'm going to throw rocks at her window until she comes.
Stereo on your shoulder.
Just above.
Shoes in
At this
hand.
point, from another balcony or something. She's not there.
Ah, little monkey. I found his shoes.
Spoken like it.
I got his shoes.
Great.
She works for him. Look at these loafers. And he pulls out the loafer and he shows the pure whiteness of it. Pure. Look, smell that. Smell that new shoe
I'd
smell.
rather not. Thanks.
It's new. Well, it's new. It's not like I pulled it off of his feet. But look, we have him right there. So we just need to find out who that chick is, and we need to tail her and find out who this man is. I kind of busted out of the trunk. She kind of freaked out.
Yeah, no shit.
No worries though. There's no way they'll find me. They'll probably find me. I'm going to have to move my dumpster. Okay. Do you want to take these shoes?
Why?
Because they're going to be looking for a vagrant with shoes, and I obviously have the shoes, and I don't want the shoes.
What am I gonna do with the shoes? You just
I don't know.
took
Give them to
shoe-
Dinah. Dinah could find something out on them. Treads, shoe size. You know, government database stuff.
Okay, well, if you want to do that, they're literally, and she points towards the office or wherever direction she saw them going, because when she left, she definitely did not leave.
Mhm.
She stuck around to see where they went.
Right. I will go that way.
And with that, we will pan across to Imogen and Dinah.
All right, so here we go into the office. So I'm taking her to my desk, and I'm wheeling up. I'm gonna let her sit in my office chair. It's custom. It was special ordered. It was a gift for good behavior, good performance, top litigation support. Thank you. And I earned it. And so I think she's earned it too, with all the work that she's done helping us out around the diner, and, being short-staffed constantly. So I'm letting Imogen take the cozy chair, and then I will pull up a stool next to it, place myself upon it, and my back. All right, it's okay. I'll endure the pain for you, sweetheart. And I'm going to run the license plate and the vehicle identification number, and then I'm going to search my database for Diana Lauri.
Okay, so the number plate and the vehicle identification number match for a start. The plates haven't been changed or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Can you do me an investigate roll, please?
Absolutely. So I have research, and my law office access will have access to databases that the common public won't.
Mm-hmm.
We will have an eye for the details, and I think that will be it. And I don't think any weakness will come into this necessarily right now. And
Okay.
I mean, I don't think I'm going to draw the attention of the underworld necessarily, and I don't think law enforcement will interfere because I'm just using resources I have.
Yeah, no, that seems fair.
And then I will make my investigate check. Yay, a great success.
Excellent. So with a great success, you have 3 clues.
Okay. And so I can ask the MC a question about the subject of my investigation, or ask
So, if
other
you'd
player.
like, we can use one of those clues to give you all the information on previous owners of the car, that sort of thing.
Yeah, so here's what I want to determine. am I able to determine, searching for Diana Lauri, what her listed profession is? That would be on things like census records, tax data, dating profiles.
Yeah, no, you get access on a great success. You can get access to pretty much everything. You can get the scoop on this woman quite easily. She acts as an agent for the Great Marco. They are in a relationship together. They have been for some years. They are married.
I should, in fact, invite her over to. I should make friends with her, invite her over to the bachelorette party, and Marco pops out of the cake, telling jokes, because we're gonna pay for it. Sorry.
She also she acts as his agent. She also has had a string of like grocery store jobs and other things. She's very rarely not running 2 jobs at a time. She also has on her medical record, she's been getting counseling recently.
Okay. Am I able to determine the counseling office? Like the who her psychiatrist or therapist is?
Yes, you can. It is a relationships counselor.
Hard times for Marco and Diana.
Whilst this is happening, like Imogen is sort of like, is it like a swivel chair or something like that, or is it just a nice chair? So
It's a very nice swivel chair.
He's sort of like looking at it, really relaxing in it, sort of spinning around it a little bit. And if you've got like one of those birds that dips its, like one of those desk birds,
I do.
like flicking that every now and then. She's not normally used to going into these. She's
excellent lumbar
looking around.
And Imogen, what do you want to know about Diana? Anything at all?
I don't know. What? I mean, anything.
Haven't you ever wanted to look into someone? Just a little peek into their life?
Well, can't you just talk to someone and do that?
Oh, but she's already talked to lots of people about it. This saves us the time.
Well,
you had a question, Zippy?
Oh, I was like, Ken, at this point, John bangs on the door of the office.
I freeze.
I think we can allow that if John and Lee are heading up. Is there anything you guys want to get completed before you're joined by the rest of the party?
Okay.
I think Imogen was going to ask Dinah sort of like, well, who owned the car before her?
Well, that's on the standard records. That's not anything. No. You know what? Yeah, let's go ahead and see the name of the individual that the limousine belonged to in 1997.
1997, it was owned by a Tony Klaus.
Tony Klaus.
94 is when he bought it. Before that, it was owned by another known thug to you, Dinah. There's documented records all the way back to year of manufacture, 1977. Tony Vincenzo.
And Imogen's like, that's the bad guy.
He's not so bad. We're gonna see each other. And
then, are we okay to bring the rest of the party in now? Or would you like a bit more time?
For John for sure. So, I assume I open the door and John's right there, right? Knocking.
I got his shoes.
John, you didn't get shot.
I look straight up.
Almost.
There is mistletoe in the doorway between John and I.
Dinah, I'm a man of God.
What's that supposed to mean?
Did you steal those shoes?
Xiulan,
Yes.
Gonna look
Let
up.
me-
I'm pretty sure he did.
Let me see those shoes. Come here. Hand them here. Come on, John.
I hand her the. I'm sorry. I hand her the bag of shoes. I'm sorry, it slips. I do that all the time with my professors.
It's all right.
I hand her the bag with the shoes. I definitely stole it. I definitely busted out of the limo's trunk. I definitely freaked out the poor girl. I feel terrible, but I found your shoes, and they are indeed impeccably white.
We're gonna need to return these shoes, but first, all right. So I assume in our law office we have a bug sweeper, and by that I mean we have an electronic device to check the shoe for any bugs. There happen to be any in there?
No bugs. If you check through the bag with more detail, you can find the receipt showing that these were purchased today.
So, here's what we need to do. Were these going to be a Christmas present? Did you just ruin Christmas, John?
Look, I stayed in that trunk for about 4 hours.
Why are you in the trunk?
I don't
I've been
know.
for 7 days.
I may have hurt my ankle. Didn't want to follow the limo, so I got into the trunk, and then I noticed that there was a parcel, and I stuck my arm through, and I opened it up, and I noticed it was white. I knew it had to be the man in white. I accidentally said that out loud, and scared the poor lady driving. But hey, it's okay. I got out of the trunk, and she's looking for a vagrant. You know how many vagrants there are in this city? I give sandwiches to them all.
All right.
Whoa! She called the police?
Yeah. Yes. I know I should have stayed and turned myself in. I'm sorry. I just wanted to get these shoes to you guys because that means she is connected. White shoes, white suit, girl, and Mercedes. Yes.
It's okay. I know how to handle this. And here's what we're doing first is I'm going to show you guys a neat trick. We have a small cobbler's kit. We're going to pop the heel and we're going to implant a bug, and we'll be able to hear the individual who wears these shoes. However, they do us no good if these shoes stay here. We have to get them back to Ms. Diana Lauri. So I'm going to pick up the phone and I'm going to call the phone number I have on the Great Marco's call and see if someone picks up, and I'm going to play it off that I just happened to find this parcel and I took it back to the store, and they said these were purchased by Diana Lauri.
Okay.
And I found them.
So
So Xiulan is definitely she's hovering by the door, having gone behind John, and she doesn't really want to be inside. Are you really gonna call it 11 something?
Today's Christmas,
Christmas Eve.
but it's 1 a.m.
It's 1 a.m. Well, Merry
How late is
Christmas,
it?
John.
Merry Christmas to you too. I feel terrible that I almost ruined Marco's Christmas, but in 7 days he's going to slaughter an innocent man, so I feel like it evens
It's
out.
not going to be
something.
Marco that slaughters. It's going to be a man in white.
But
This is all very exciting, isn't it?
I know, right? We have a legitimate murder, definite possible murder on our case. So,
yes,
well, how do you intend to stop the murder then?
bathe him in righteous fire.
You're going to baptize him?
Should I? Yes. And then I'm going to see if he will repent for his sins, and if he does not, he's already taken the life of another. That is a mortal sin, so I will strike him down.
But he hasn't. yet.
Oh my gosh, this is a moral gray area.
I know.
How,
He hasn't committed it.
And you
we
still
know he's
shoot.
going to. It's there. He's thinking about it. He's going to murder all those people. He blew up the casino.
In your premonition.
Not yet.
Shit. I mean, shoot.
What if we could convert him to your faith?
You want to convert him?
I don't think that. I don't think. No.
I guess
Free will.
Christmas is the best time.
What if I told you on the 27th, you will have an opportunity to, one, hear what could be a potentially good stand-up comedian, two, capture Mr. Marco, because he's going to arrive at my apartment to perform at a bachelorette party, and we're going to capture him.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to try to kill Mr. Marco. I want to be perfectly clear. I'm not a murdered hobo. I'm.
You just steal shoes.
I just.
Yeah. You know,
Well,
Steve
I
Hobo.
never stole anything until I met all of you. Let's make that perfectly clear. I was
I just serve
upstanding
coffee.
vagrant. Okay, I don't know anything about my past. I can't remember anything, but I'm pretty sure I was a good person. I go to church every day. I ask for prayers. I feed the homeless, and with my own money that I have apparently gathered from being homeless. I've never stolen anything. One night with you guys, and a trip into hell, and I am already stealing shoes. I scare a poor girl, and I'm feeling a little bit angry that I know that this man in white is going to kill somebody, and I would like to stop it, but I have to hold myself back because I don't want to kill them.
You're vulnerable,
Calm,
John.
calm down. It's okay. You're doing it for the greater good. Think of it like that. You could stop something terrible happen just by.
But that's communism.
Well, okay, but maybe don't think of it like that. And
I don't think we're Russian.
I think you're taking the shoe stealing a little bit too far. If you're.
I need to turn myself in.
No, John. Why don't you come and stay with me?
We're going to make-
And Jerry. Jerry's my cat.
Do you have a police radio in your office, Dinah?
I do, yes.
Is it on?
Mm-hmm. Always.
So you'll hear sort of like communications going over the radio. Police are checking over vagrants in the area, checking them for large blades and
No.
parcels.
Oh gosh, Jeremy. I need to go check on Jeremy. Oh, he lives underneath the bridge over on First, and he got this replica sword from one of these comic conventions that was in town.
John, it's not safe for you to be in the streets tonight. You want to stay with me?
I will be back. I have to go check on Jeremy. They're going to pull him in. It's from this TV show that I watch over in the pawn shop sometimes. Xena.
What if Lee checks on Jeremy
Yes.
for compensation?
I'm. Yeah. Oh. And he pulls out the $1. I feel terrible. This was supposed to go to the. Here, I'm going to give this to you, Lee. This is your compensation. You need to go to church on Sunday and put this directly into the tithe.
Put 10% into the tithe.
100%. All of it goes to God.
Tithe is a tenth.
Give it all.
I'm just
Give-
supposed to go.
Give a
talk
100th.
to.
Put this in the 100th.
So I'm just supposed to
That
go
would be
toss
one
this
thing.
dude under the bridge, and do what exactly?
Just make sure if you can maybe swipe his replica broadsword. That would
Oh,
be.
you're telling me to take it?
Gonna rob
Yes.
someone on Christmas.
Oh no! See, this is the rabbit hole that we go into. First, I meet you guys, and then I'm stealing shoes, and then I'm stealing Jeremy's broadsword. He loves that broadsword. He found it.
Why don't you,
you
just
know?
move, Jeremy?
Yes. Tell him to go stay at the community on 69th. And ditch the sword. He's the only other hobo that I know that carries a sword.
Why do you even? Oh. Okay, so you're giving me this dollar that then is supposed to go into charity afterwards, so it doesn't really belong to me. You expect me to go to the bridge to tell this dude to go somewhere else because you're worried about him having a sword.
Did you not hear the police radio? They're looking for vagrants with swords.
Yep.
They're not going to understand that I can do this. And he pulls out the butter knife, and then all of a sudden it is engulfed in flame, and he now is holding a flaming broadsword.
Whoa.
What?
Is it a bachelorette party?
What did you do to my butter knife?
I don't know. Ever since I was given this St. Charms Michael, this St. Michael charm, and I woke up in the hospital, I've been able to do really weird things. Like, I've been shot, but the bullet just bounces off me. I am able to pick up things like butter knives and rebarb and plastic knives, which don't last that long. And I can set them on fire and make them a lot longer than they're supposed to be.
Can you make that not on fire right now?
And then it all of a sudden just kind of like vacuums back into the knife.
Thank you.
So they're looking for that. They're not going to understand that is me. They're going to look at Jeremy and see his warrior princess sword and think it's him. Jeremy's a nice guy. He was a vet.
Say, Ron, isn't there that crazy over under the bridge? Has a sword? No. Should we go check him out?
Lee,
What?
can you go make sure Jeremy's okay? Take him to the community on 69th.
What's in it for me?
I pull out
A
$100
crisp high
bill.
five. And 10% of that goes to the church.
10%.
She looks at you.
So $10.
Really?
You'd be doing me a solid. You kids still say solid, right?
Sure.
It hadn't been invented yet.
See,
She's like, sure.
you got you. I go on one time traveling trip with you guys, and all of a sudden, I'm making up words that don't even exist. Next thing you know, I'm going to be like, this butter knight is lit, and these Sunday morning cartoons are dank. I don't even know what those are.
Lee,
And
I
we
don't-
will just take the
I'm
$100 bill if it's
that's
being
all my
offered.
petty cash for the rest of the week, but it's holidays, so that's all I can spare. Now you, we need to figure about you. Come on, I'm gonna drag John to the washroom.
I'm having culture shock right now. I don't know which way's up. That was literal hell.
And I set him down in a chair. I go, Imogen,
Mm-hmm.
can you turn on the radio? Pick something oldies, old timey.
Yeah.
It's all just Christmas carols.
I was gonna say she sort of flicks through and then realizes it's just Christmas and just settles for whatever probably the happiest, loudest one she can go for, because she feels like there needs to be a bit more of an uplift. So
Have a holly jolly Christmas. We have a black dude in the washroom. It's dark navy, and we're gonna give
Do you
John
guys-
a little shave and.
Do you have anything do you have any music by that hip new band sung? Dave Grohl sings it, and he's from that. Yes, the
I
Foo
loved him in
Fighters.
Nirvana.
I loved him. I think I only know the Foo Fighters. The kids listen to it and they blast their music, and
I mean, it's the radio. I don't have much. I can
You know
have a look. And
We're
she starts
introducing
going
you
through
to
it.
Nirvana tonight. It's happening. If you like the Foo Fighters, you'll like Nirvana. And
I assume I would.
yes, we have their unplugged album at the Muddy Banks of the Wichita. You put that on, and you'll dig it. Start with the David Bowie cover, "The Man Who Sold the World." It'll be good. Give it a
and-
pop disc.
She's literally going through everything to try and find it because right now it's all
My desk drawer, top drawer,
dip,
right inside.
and she's,
There'll be a little picture of Kurt.
and she's sort of pulling these drawers out, finds it.
Oh, the little picture of Kurt. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. By the way, Xiulan has like gone. She's gone. She's off and away to do her thing.
How are you leaving? Are you leaving by the doors and walking, or?
No,
Out the window.
if there's a window.
Mhm.
I sort of lean out the window and watch her go just to be like, oh. Just
So here's what I
interesting.
want to do. We're gonna try to clean up John the best we can. We're gonna try to give him a clean shave. We're gonna dye his hair banana blonde, and we're gonna put a midnight blue suit on him. We're walking him back to my place, and he'll look like a man about town. And John, don't worry, this is typical in our trade. We're gonna make you look great, and make sure you have a place to sleep tonight, and you'll be safe from.
You can like crop his hair down, do it bleach
Yeah.
blonde in the little spikes that were absolutely every single person's haircut in the 90s. Like
100%. 100%.
Dude, no, don't cut my hair. Well, I mean, could you just cut it just a little bit? Maybe it's not down my back. Maybe shoulder length. They'll never recognize me with shoulder length hair, I think.
We could slick it back.
This will be a change the game. To add a story tag to John.
All right. So let's see. All right. Let me save I was typing notes in my character sheet. So. All right. So to change the game, let's see what we have. Nothing. I literally have nothing. Let's just give it a roll.
Just a flat roll.
I think so. I mean, what I might be able to do, there's a couple ways I can do this, and maybe help. I might be able to make him look like a criminal persona. I mean, there's Backstreet Boys all around, and I can give him a Backstreet Boy hairdo. Let me take off some of these things I have. An eye for details. These won't really work. They're just my support things. So let's just do.
I don't know, eye for details I reckon could work. Oh.
Okay. Well, if we add 1 to that, it'd be a 9. It won't change too much. So I get juice.
Equal to your power, with a minimum of 1. So you can create 1 story tag to John. Imagine that'd be something like disguised. You can talk about the details between you
Yeah.
regarding the hair.
Yeah. Man, I kind of imagine you look like David Bowie from the Serious Moonlight tour. Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you, and it's literally going to be this color. Yeah, so this is how you're going to end up. Oh geez, poor you.
The
Right
hobo
down.
that tries to keep a low profile.
Mhm. All right, so I'm gonna send this to you, and it might be what I would do is I'd call it pop star persona. You look like a pop star now.
Oh my god.
Are the trousers with it as well?
No, well, yes, but they're midnight blue.
Like as he's like led
They
out
probably
of
look
the
closer
room,
to this, yeah.
Imogen's looking at
Oh
like,
gosh.
wow. Well, you look different. They won't tell it's you.
Good. Good. I was having a wonderful life, I think, and then this just look.
No, you can pull it
I'm-
off.
I am
John, you've been to hell.
Very
today.
stressed out.
This is the worst. No. Relax. Put on the old timey's music, and all right, let's blow dry his hair, get him suited up.
So- This is going to take some time. I mean, getting a full outfit like this done is probably going to be about 2 a.m. by the time you're done.
Well, the full outfit, we have a suit ready to go. Kind of, we have spare jackets and things.
With like the bleaching and the washing and...
I think the bleaching and the washing, it'll probably take about. I'm trying to think because I used to dye my hair a lot in the 90s. It's probably going to be a 30-minute process given the length of his hair. But it'll probably take another 30 minutes to get him clean shaved. So it'll probably take an hour.
Yeah.
Smell really bad.
So yeah, like that brings us to around 2 a.m. in the morning. I mean, I imagine if you guys have done a full day's work as well, you're going to be getting pretty tired by now.
Yeah, right about now. So I only live a block from the office, so I can take him up there. We have a spare room. It's, well, you'll see. Pink wallpaper on one side, blue wallpaper on the other. 2 bassinets are in it. They're empty, and there is a cot on the floor.
Do you have a balcony?
I do, but you're not allowed to sleep on it. That's where I pine, John. I go out there and pine for my love. That doesn't exist. Why am I telling you this? Jeez.
It's fine, but can I, please? I just so used to sleeping under the stars, and I think I might have been claustrophobic.
Watch this. And I turn on the infant's night lights, and it kind of paints the ceiling with stars. They kind of spin, and it plays very gentle, choirly music. And
Okay.
this isn't too bad, right?
No, thank you for your hospitality. I'm going to go to bed. I have been thoroughly transformed in both character and physical appearance. I am going to go to sleep now before I do something else that I'm going to regret. Do you have any rosaries? I seem to have lost mine.
The only religious emblem we have in this house is a Buddha statue that we keep just to, parents visit twice a year. It freaks them out.
Right. Never mind. I
have a Gideon's Bible.
Father Doyle tomorrow. That would be great.
Here.
Thank you.
Yeah, go pull it out. They give these for free at the dollar store. They're not allowed to charge for them. It's against the law. Hand you the Gideon's Bible. And good night, John, and Merry Christmas. And I'm going to get smashed on the couch while watching It's a Wonderful Life and sobbing my eyes out.
Imogen is going to sort of duck out and sort of say, "See you, Merry Christmas, see you when I see you. John, if you want a hot dinner, the diner is open tomorrow, and you're really rocking that look." And she just sort of goes out and closes the door behind her.
Thank
before
you.
She starts heading.
Oh, okay. She is left. Okay. Well, I'll see her tomorrow.
So Lee heading to the bridge?
Yup,
Question mark.
she is.
Okay. So you can see a cop car around there by the time you get there.
Okay. I'm gonna stick close to the shadows and kind of see what's happening.
Okay, so as you come down, you can see there's 2 officers. I'm trying to remember the 90s sort of attire. I imagine it would have been like a blue suit sort of thing, almost like a modern security guard rather than a high vis or anything.
Yeah, the deep blue
Yeah.
beanies.
Yeah, so two officers in their deep blue suits, speaking to a homeless man. I'm sort of seeing it. Could you describe him for us?
He looks like Steve Buscemi
Oh boy.
as a hobo.
Oh boy.
He has kind of a stocking hat kind of deal. He wears glasses that have been broken on the bridge. He has like a dark brown kind of hair going on at the back. He wears like one of those kind of Michelin man looking coats kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks like he's wearing one of those jumper suits that like a car mechanic would be wearing, but it's been like dirtied up and stuff. And on his back is the Xena Warrior Blade Warrior Princess replica sword.
So they are questioning him, Lee.
Okay. Shit.
I told you I did not steal those shoes, right? Shoes. No, I was here the entire night. You can ask Sheila. She walks her
Sheila, sir.
She walks her cart down here every day at 11 o'clock.
We'll check that out. In the meantime, we've got reports of a vagrant wielding a sword who's been cutting up vehicles downtown. Now,
Cutting up vehicles. I wish. Yeah. Oh, that sounds like a wonderful thing. I could be like a hero, like from those comic books. Super hobo.
And he like goes and reaches for the sword.
Oh boy.
Like, they immediately go into, like, panic mode, like, hands on guns, ready to draw. Sir?
With the power of Grayskull, I have the power.
Okay, sir, we're going to need you to drop the gun, drop the sword, and get on the ground.
Oh, and he just drops it. Whoa, hey, man, hey.
Down you go.
No, not cool. Hey, don't touch my sword. That's mine. Everything over in that area is mine. You need a warrant to touch it.
Sir, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you do say can be used against you in a law of court.
Xiulan is gonna do something real fucking stupid. The cop car is right here, right?
Uh-huh.
During this whole conversation, could she have? Is the cop car doors open?
The cop car doors are open.
She's gonna get in.
Front or back?
Front.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna fucking drive this car away with the sirens going.
Okay. So. Okay. Let's see. I feel like something needs to be rolled here. I'm looking at either sneak around or take a risk, but it doesn't sound like you're sneaking too much.
Well, I'm sneaking to get into the car, but I want their attention when I zoom off.
Yeah. Okay. Give us a sneak roll.
Cool. Okay. So that would be okay. If I'm sneaking, it's slip away unnoticed, never stand out. I think those are the two main ones.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if any weakness really applies. Maybe overconfident because I'm doing something real fucking dumb.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay, so that's +1. Nope.
So as one of them is now cuffing Jeremy, the other officer sort of looks over his shoulder and spots you, and as you're getting to the vehicle, and he spins around and says, "Whoa, stop, halt, who goes there? Back away from the vehicle."
Okay. Actually, it kind of looked like you had the key still in the ignition. I just wanted to check.
I'm out of here. And Jeremy grabs the sword and he starts running away.
And so much.
Bye, pigs.
So they are not going to let you go. What?
I gotta let this hobo go.
So one of them, they're, you know what? I think they're probably calling for backup. One of them is chasing the hobo. The other is approaching Lee. Miss, what are you doing sneaking around out here?
Well, I heard some shouting, and I wanted to go check in with my friend.
Your friend is the vagrant over here?
Yeah. I give him, like, food sometimes, so I say friend. That's kind of a stretch.
Miss, do you know where his location has been this afternoon? Do you know where he's been?
He, like, never leaves here. He's always like, don't touch my stuff. So, like...
Don't touch my stuff.
Yeah, so he would never leave.
Dirty
It's why I have to go get food.
bacon burner.
Is he liable to use that sword of his?
It's not even a real sword.
It is. It was gifted to me by the great
Yeah.
Wizard of Quendor.
It's literally a replica sword.
I need it to fight the evil in the West.
Yep. Like, do you really think that he would actually be able to use that sword against somebody?
I had combat training.
Sure.
So, Lee, are you trying to convince the officer?
Yes.
I would like to try to change the game as well, if possible. I'm gonna come over the police radio. I shouldn't, but I will.
Ooh. Okay. So we've got potentially two roles going on. Let's take the convince from Lee first.
Okay. Let's see what I can use. I'm gonna use underestimate me and never see it coming.
Uh-huh.
Are they highly emotional right now?
Not really. Tense,
Okay.
but not emotional.
That's fine. And I'm not really using the words against them, so just one power tag.
Okay.
Oh boy. That's a 12.
That is a fantastic roll. So you can change their agenda to include yours.
Look, like...
Or
Sure.
grant them a status. Your choice.
Okay. So my agenda is to get this dude to this community. So look, if you're really concerned about him, just take him over to the community. They'll look after him. He won't threaten you constantly. He's just gonna keep yelling at you. Trust me on that.
She's not
Take him over
wrong.
there. They'll keep an eye on him. And then when you go and keep on investigating, if you think he's the only freaking hobo with a sword that could have done this, then you know where he is.
The officer sort of looks at you for a long moment. and then nods. Dinah, what was your interaction? Am I seeing you at the moment sitting on the couch watching It's a Wonderful Life, police radio on the arm?
If this was what I would have done.
Oh, or maybe while you were dressing up John.
This is a little bit of a flashback. While we're waiting for his hair, we have to wait for about 15 minutes for it to set.
Mm-hmm.
What I would do is I'd go back into the office and I'd pick up the radio and I'd put an output dispatch where, attention all units, we have a 1096 in front of Walgreens at Height and 34th. Essentially, a 1096, a crazy person, potentially dangerous, and just letting them know that there's a chance that there's going to be potential shooting. Hard to tell. They seem very aggressive and dangerous. So that's what I'm trying to convey.
Okay.
That there's a dangerous person at a specific location. We need all units. Now, I have a number of weaknesses that are going to interfere. First, my underworld reputation. If I'm poking at the police, the mob's not going to like that, and I'm going to draw unnecessary attention on those of us that have our illegal radios and scanners. Also, law enforcement typically interferes with all of my actions. However, I'm extremely well versed in criminal personae. I'm able to use correct terminology from my law office. I have a uncanny charisma, and I believe my trustworthy appearance, although it's not my physical appearance, it's the sound of my voice. I sound like one with authority. So this, I have 2 weakness tags and I'd say 4 power tags.
Yep, that sounds perfectly legitimate to me.
And
I'm just looking now. Change the game. That's
just be a convince or change.
Yeah, I'm sort of leaning towards convince. That change the game will create story tags, that sort of thing. Whereas maybe convince, trying to get their agenda to change, is more what you're trying to do here.
Let's see how it goes.
On an 11, that is a great success. So you can either grant them a status or change their agenda to come in line with yours. Also, remember to mark attention on the weakness tags that you used.
Okay. So here's a question. So I've used weakness tags a few times.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just okay. I see how it works now.
Yeah. Every time you get free attention, you get to grant an improvement to your card, and it resets.
Yep, it levels up to another improvement. You can have 5 improvements per card.
Excellent. So here's what we do. Here's essentially what I want them to do. I want them to be redirected to a different location. I want them to be redirected while they are questioning Lee,
Mm-hmm.
and I want them to essentially decide that Lee is low priority right now, and the homeless man is not of too much concern.
Mm-hmm.
Likewise, I would like Lee to have some sort of favor with them, like a pleasant interaction with one of the officers. Perhaps maybe Lee is wearing a shirt that reminds him of his in trouble younger sister or something like that. Maybe his younger sister's a little edgy, a little rebellious. Maybe they listen to the same music. He's kind of a nicer officer, and just kind of like, you know what, you're not so bad, you're just a little misunderstood.
Okay, so I think with the combination of your roles, with both roles, they're going to sort of be assessing the situation. This radio call is going to come through for a 1096, and at a moment of sort of anguish, the one questioning Lee is going to sort of hesitate, not sure what to do. The one with Jeremy is going to say, look, kid, if we've got to answer that. Can you make sure this guy gets to the community center?
Sure, that's fine.
Wait, there's a robbery at the Walgreens?
No.
Who are you?
I'm your... God, Why are you so forgetful? I'm your friend.
I've
know.
never seen you before in my life.
The 2 police officers are going to get in the car, assuming this guy's just crazy, and drive away.
Have a great night, officers.
Who sent you? Is it the KB?
Does Lee actually take him to the community center, or does she just think, hey, job well done?
Eyes of a
John Doe told me to tell you to go to the
John?
frickin' community center.
John told me to go to the community center. That means bad stuff's gonna go down.
I think we averted it, but like, just make my life easier and just go there for me.
What do
John?
What did you let John get himself into?
I don't know. He just told me to do the thing, so I'm doing the thing.
Fine, I'll go to the community center for John.
Okay, so at this point, I would like to put a little bit of downtime into the game. I'd like you guys to spend Christmas morning giving us some kind of montage. You can see in the montage actions, there's different things you guys can do. So we'll get Jeremy to the community center, and then if we could have a little montage of what each of you do through the night until Christmas Day morning. We can go in any order you like. If anyone's ready straight away.
John, in the morning, he's gonna get up. Is Dinah awake at 6 a.m.?
That's probably no, she's not. She's had way too much to drink.
He's
under a
gonna.
lot of stress.
He is going to go into Dinah's kitchen and make 2 sandwiches. And then he's going to leave one. Is she sleeping on the couch? Did she fall asleep on the couch?
Yes.
He's going to leave a sandwich on the coffee table, and he's going to take his, and he's going to sneak out. Not really. He's just going to go out the front door, and he's going to take himself to a hospital where he's going to get his leg looked at.
Okay. Yep. So that would be is that preparing for recovering from your last activity?
Yeah, I'm going to try to remove the sprained ankle status.
Yeah, they'll patch you up and you can remove that status.
Well, after that, he's going to go straight to Father Doyle's church, and he's going to just knock on the door. Father Doyle lives. Well, he'd be there at this time, getting prepared for Christmas Mass, and he'd open up and he'd just help get ready for Christmas.
Okay. Anyone else?
Imogen would have walked home after the night's events, probably fed Jerry and given him like a little bit of a cuddle, and just she knew she had to be up again in, well, not very long at all, so she might have had like a snooze or a nap on the sofa and just thrown like a coat over her. Got up, probably paid some more attention to Jerry, done her normal thing, and headed down to the diner to open up again. It's, even though it's Christmas Day, she sees it as well. She'll still go down. She's like picked up some like proper old school like a tin of like the equivalent of like Quality Streets like Christmas sweets or something that she's taken down there to anyone that comes in.
So are you giving attention to your routine, Logos?
I guess so, yeah. She still does something very similar. There's not much other than Jerry at home, so I mean, she debates if she could take him in, like, briefly, but then thinks it's probably not a good idea.
Okay. Do you spend any time together on Christmas morning, or do you just get up and go to work?
No, she'll sit with him for a little bit, but no, she still has. She'll sort of wake up extra early because she got in late and spent some time with Jerry, and then still head down normal time because she knows people will still want to come in the morning.
Okay. Perfect. So you can mark attention to your routine logos.
Okay.
How about Dinah? What happens after John leaves?
All right. She wakes up around midday. And kind of Will Jones encounter roleplay style. Just had a lot to drink the night before. And she kind of walk of shames to the sandwich, picks it up, and it's quite delicious. She kind of turns to her room and she kicks her heels off. They were kind of dangling on her toes all night. And then she looks at a glass chess set. And what she's going to do is sort of explore one of the mysteries of her mythos. And the question that she's studying is, what must be sacrificed to create the perfect end game? And she's essentially going to look at the pieces on the board as if they were all the persona in the city, all the people she has encountered. And she's going to advance the board's position and slide a piece. Queen's pawn opening. Slide it 2 spaces forward. Pull her finger off of it. And then ponder these things and try to look many moves ahead and figure out what must be sacrificed.
Okay, so you can gain a clue about your mythos from this. So based on that very thing. So, who do you see as the key players?
Vincenzo, Marcos, Diana, the man in white, who we aren't too sure exactly who it is, in my opinion, as well as the members of the party.
Okay. So you can sort of see the moves leading up to the Black King being taken, if the Black King was to represent Vincenzo. It's going to be taken by the White Queen, representing the man in white. The
So,
pawns.
what do I was going to say, what do I have to put in the way to stop the White Queen? Which piece on the board? And I don't need a name. I just need to know which piece.
Several pawns will need to be sacrificed.
Okay.
And you may gain attention to your mythos.
Okay.
Lee.
She gets in probably 3 a.m. Just crashes. Her last thought before she passes out completely is, maybe I should go check up on the job. And then she passes out. By the time she gets up the next morning, it's AJ again, waking her up. They have a little bit of a tradition. Christmas is not a big thing. Holidays aren't a big thing for Seven Heaven, but hi, Hildy. But AJ really likes doing it, so Xiulan will. She can't say no. And she did get him something. So that was get him something. A new notebook because he dropped his last one in the washer. Considering he's been at the laundromat for the past few weeks.
Man, I hate it when that happens.
Yep. So you can do this. What are you trying to are you giving attention to a theme or
attention to my the gang theme, my relationship theme.
Okay. Yeah, you can certainly do that. He's grateful. He's got you a little gift as well. It's
Yes, she's just like Christmas isn't really like that big of a deal, but I know that it matters to you, so also to replace the one that you freaking dropped into the washer. I don't know how you did that, but that's hilarious.
Hey, I don't give you a hard time. And he gifts you a set of a pair of new shoes, black sneakers.
Nice. And she's kind of really?
They're not expensive.
And she'll give him like a quick hug. Now I gotta say I should say Merry Christmas to the boss.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm guessing you already did that this morning.
Sorry?
I'm guessing you already did that this morning. And I'm the last one.
Yeah, we've all said hello to the boss.
Yep. Alright. And she's just gonna duck out.
Finger gun your way out?
Yeah. With that grin, I was just like, right, shit. Everything's gonna be fine. She ducks into the office.
Lee, can you make me a convince roll for earlier when you tried to convince AJ not to tell the boss?
Oh no. I don't have anything.
Nothing in your relationship with the gang or anything like that?
No. Like, the only thing with the gang is they give me purpose eyes on the street or never stand out.
Looks like it might be a flat roll then.
Yup. Come on, AJ. Okay.
Yep, okay, so, good morning, Lee. You're late.
Hi. Morning. Merry Christmas. Yup. Sorry. I got in late last night.
Do you have any leads on Marco or Vincenzo?
She goes in the pocket. She takes out the receipt. Awesome. Merry Christmas.
She looks it over.
Someone driving the vehicle that it probably connected to Vincenzo. From my understanding, whoever's driving is probably connected with the person I was following last night. I'm still early on the job, boss, and I'll figure it out, like I always do.
It's Christmas, Lee. It's Christmas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Come back with more in a couple of days.
She narrows her eyes. You sure?
She gives you a smile and says, "You've got nothing right now. Try and focus. Take a few days. Christmas.
Okay.
Get out of here.
Yep. Backs it. And then ducks back in. Thanks, boss.
So, John up early attending mass. Imogen in the diner getting things ready. Dinah is eating sandwiches and chilling out at home. Do you guys feel like you would meet up on Christmas Day, or would you all do your own thing?
Imogen would be trying to make the use of having a bigger kitchen, so she'd just do something like make a bunch of Christmas type treats that she can hand out or something like that to whoever comes in. And probably from spending time with Dinah, she might sit like with like a scrap of paper or like a napkin or something and try and just remember things that went on in the diner the last couple of days. Really trying to focus on remembering people, what they look like, how they moved, or anything like that.
So would any of you other guys check into the diner?
John and Father Doyle would definitely. It's their after mass meetup spot where they would just go, and they notice that the diner's open, so they stop in for coffee, and they just talk about philosophy and other stuff. Father Doyle has been trying to help John remember who he once was. Just other little minor things like that.
I'd show up at the diner around 3 p.m. I'd spend most of the early afternoon at the cemetery, not the seminary, not training to be a priest. I would be at the cemetery looking over the children's graves, say I'm sorry, and then go to the diner to try to forget everything.
Imogen would, like, if as she sees you come in, she'd immediately pour coffees, give you like this sort of really over the top decorated like Christmas tree biscuit that's got all the icing on or whatever, like all the additives from the 90s, and sort of just places down like Merry Christmas, and let me know if you want anything else. And she sort of goes back to her stall and then sets up Clint's coffee and sugar and spoon and everything.
Are you you have some place to go for dinner tonight when you get off?
I've got some stuff at home, and I got to feed Jerry. But otherwise, I might just make something here. You're welcome to join me if you want.
May I join you?
Yeah, of course you can. And she's just says, just stay here as long as you want. I'm not going anywhere.
Thanks. And she just kind of finds a booth in the corner.
What do you do with these shoes between now and yesterday?
Oh, I need to call Diana, let her know that I found them in a parking garage. Yeah, I'll call her, let her know. I'll do that at 4 p.m.
Okay, yeah, the call goes through. You can hear sort of Christmas music in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Are you Diana Lauri?
Yes, this is Diana Lauri speaking. How did you get this number?
Did you lose a pair of shoes?
Yes.
Okay, I found them in the parking lot. Do you need? Do you want to pick them up, or do you want me to drop them off?
Where are you?
I'm at the diner. It's the best diner in town.
I think my husband's heading down to the diner later on tonight. You could pick them up if that's okay. My car's been impounded.
All right. How does your husband look? How will I know it's him?
He's a thin guy. I'll tell you what. I'll tell him to wear his top hat.
Top hat? Is he from like 1807?
No, he works in
Did he free
entertainment.
the slaves. Oh, he works in entertainment. I see. Classy. He's vaudevillian. Got it. Okay. Does he have any like white rabbits? Cards?
Why don't you ask him and find out?
Okay. Well, thank you, Diana, and Merry Christmas. Click.
Okay. So later that day, Marco will turn up to the diner. Is there anything you guys would like to do in the meantime?
Here's what I'm going to tell Imogen. We need to stick these in a bag of some sort. If we have ribbon, let's tie it around and just let Mr. Marco know that they were found in a parking garage and they are his. And let's try not to make eye contact. And if he asks why the woman who called isn't here, she had to go. It's Christmas.
Okay, and like she's got like a tinsel thing like wrapped up in her hair, and she sort of ties that around the box to just make it sort of puts it behind the counter.
Okay, and then Dinah, you leave.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to. Well, no, I'm not leaving. I'm hanging out because I'm gonna eat dinner with Imogen.
Okay. Oh, okay. So like you just don't want to be identified when he comes in. That's all.
Nope, not at all.
Okay. So yeah, after a short while, he does arrive, top hat and all, and he sort of walks to the counter, drums, Merry Christmas, Imogen.
Merry Christmas. I've got something for you, and she sort of leans down and pulls out and puts it on the table. Just, these were left for you.
Oh yeah, thank you. Is the person who found them here?
No, sorry, it's Christmas. You know, everyone's run off home, and you know, I just have to work in the diner all day. So
Yeah.
John's in the diner. Does he see this person pick up the shoes?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Actually, you know what, Imogen? Maybe I could grab a coffee. I'm gonna take a seat for a minute.
yeah, of course, I'll bring it right over. Go sit down.
He goes and sits in his usual booth, which is just across from John and.
John gets up and he slips into the booth.
Can I help you?
Those are your shoes?
I don't know. That my wife bought them.
I am so sorry about
Immediately,
your wife.
Imogen walks over pouring coffee and is just like, haha, John, hi, what are you doing over here?
I am apologizing to this man. His
Why?
wife had a nasty scare last night.
How do you know that?
Oh,
sir?
the police were all over the place, weren't they? John, could you do me a favour and just come over here? I really need some help because, you know, little arms.
Now you can roll against
Sure.
each other, so if you feel like you need convincing John, these rolls work against
Convince
each
me.
other as much as anyone else.
Convince me, Alice.
I have.
Because he's about to spill the beans because he feels guilty.
I am going to use my always prepared. Let's have a look.
Gonna mace him.
Cheerfulness, trustworthy.
A mace. Get out of here.
My bear mace. Let's have and kept on edge. I don't know if I can use that as in like to react quickly. Would that work with that one? Or never caught off guard is probably a better one.
Yeah, let me just get your character sheet up. So we've got cheerfulness, trustworthy. Yeah, you can take never caught off guard, definitely. Always prepared.
Yep.
I've got 4 so far, I think.
Yeah, I think I've got 4. Would that just be convincing that way, or?
Yeah, do you know what? I'm going to imply your weakness tag here, your crew theme weakness tag, that you are a team of individuals and sometimes get in each other's way. So.
Okay. Convince. 11.
That is a resounding success.
All right. John, can you just help me with something? Like, now, please?
Sure. Do not go anywhere.
Yeah, okay. And she sort of like pushes in the direction. She looks at the guy. She's pouring a coffee. It's like, I'm really sorry. He's like my he's a very good friend of mine, and he's quite chatty, and he doesn't always know what's going on. So I let him come in here a lot of the time. He just gets really interested in. He's really interested in just things that go on, so he likes to listen in and things and just chat to people.
He sort of like nods. He's got a bit of a vacant expression on his face.
Well, anyway, Merry Christmas, and I need to get back to it, and I just sort of walk over to John and drag him into the kitchen. Like literally almost, if I could drag him in by the ear, I would, or his very fancy blonde hair now.
Yes.
Just not right now. Like I know that you've got this compelling thing to just explain yourself and try and ask for forgiveness, but just one more day, just hang on to it, because what if by doing that you make the situation worse and we have to do something else? You don't know who this man is.
But the truth will set me free.
Yes, but not today. Maybe hang on another day. Do you want to ruin his Christmas?
I feel like I'm ruining his Christmas because I gave his wife a frightful scare.
Yeah, so why not let him have a day of peace? You know, not meeting the man that hid in the trunk of her car and jumped out and terrified his wife. Maybe we could have a nice quiet coffee and just for today pretend it didn't happen. Do you think that'd give him a nice Christmas? Yeah? And then she grabs like the tray of biscuits and she's just like, why don't you take another biscuit?
You know what? How about I take this tray of biscuits and I'll do my rounds and I'll come back later when he's not here. Because I feel
Absolutely.
like if
You take these to whoever you want, and if you want more, I will bake more. But you just walk right on past him. Just for today.
Righto. Okay, yeah, no problem. He grabs the tray and he starts to walk out and he makes eye. He's like, sorry.
And I'm just
As he
like,
walks-
yeah, okay, keep walking. Like
The thin man sort of stares at his coffee for a long moment. And then his shoulders begin to shake as he begins to sob.
And Imogen immediately sort of steps in, almost like in front of his booth, so that no one else can really see him, and starts just. She hands like one of her Christmas biscuits. She's like, "Are you okay, sir?"
Yeah, I'm sorry. Everything's fine.
There is no need to be sorry. Can I help with anything?
He's like drumming on the table. I'll just have another coffee.
Why don't I have a coffee with you?
Would you like to convince this man?
I do. I'll probably take off the never caught off guard for this one.
Thinking about recording him and blackmailing him to his wife.
That is a mild success.
Okay, wow. Pat 4. So on a mild success on a convince. He'll sort of like nod at the seat and go, yeah, okay, if you want to join me, you can join me, I don't mind. He's sort of like wiping his face.
Then he sort of sits down, and she sits opposite him, and just trouble at home or job or what it is, Christmas. You know, think of what you have got. And she sort of slides a little plate of biscuits his way just to sort of encourage him to eat them.
He'll take a biscuit and sort of nibble on it. Yeah. 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 Me and Diana have been having troubles for a long time.
What sort of troubles?
He sort of like closes up a little bit. He doesn't want to speak too much, but he sort of like looks at the shoes. There's
Oh, you got your shoes back.
These aren't for me.
And it sort of clicks. She's like, oh, who are they for?
They're for my boss. It's his birthday on New Year's Eve.
Oh, is he having a party or anything to celebrate?
Yeah,
Gotta
he will
have,
be.
I'm
will.
assuming, a nice outfit to go with the shoes.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that.
Are you going? Have you been invited to the party? Because there's lots of things going on New Year's Eve anyway.
Yeah, there's a big gala event style thing going on at the casino. I'll be performing. I'll be doing my act.
Oh, I've heard about your act. I've heard it's really good. I'd love to be able to see it one day.
It's kind, but everyone knows I don't get viewers.
Well, I haven't seen it, but I would like to.
Okay, look, it's Christmas. I better get back. Things are rocky as it is. I can't spend too long away.
Okay, well, you do that, and why don't you take these home with you? And she sort of pours them into a napkin and wraps them up. And she's like, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. And as he leaves, I think that's where we'll wrap up today's scenes.
Everyone's like...
The sound of
The plot thickens.
So,
I see.
you guys, thank you so much for today. As we go round, why don't we talk about our characters a little bit? Let's talk about where you see their storyline going. Tell us who you are and where we can find you online. And let us know what your favourite part of today's game was. We'll go in reverse order this time. So we'll start with Zippy Zippo.
Hi, I'm Zippy Zippo. I am a variety streamer here on Twitch. You can find me at zippy_zippo or gaming.exp on the Twitters. I had a blast playing here. I always love playing City of Mist. My favorite part was scaring that poor lady by bursting out of her trunk.
And what about John moving forward towards this
John, I hope finds a way to stop this man in white from killing this innocent person, to stop the events of hell.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Yep. No problem.
Alice.
I loved this session. I really loved that Imogen got to experience it a little bit more than just pouring coffee. She was excited to go out and try seeing how other people were working, like in Dinah's office and things like that, and just experiencing, I guess, almost like a completely different world for her. And I also quite enjoyed her trying to convince John not to basically hand himself over to the poor man blubbering in the booth. For Imogen herself, I think I want her to become I want her to progress and become a little bit more hardy, and I think just more confident and stronger. Not quite what she is now, but get the progression there. But otherwise, I am White Rabbit Pick, and you can find me on this channel. I am Scratzel Heart, and I am also on Twitter as White Rabbit Pick, which is where you can find me.
Thank you, Lily. Next, we have Kiana.
That was an interesting one. I really liked all the interactions with all the characters, kind of getting to see a little more of how they deal with each other now that they're kind of realizing they're a little stuck with each other. The stuff with Xiulan and John always makes me laugh a little. She had an absolute shit-eating grin when he was having a little bit of a panic. Oh God, I'm stealing things.
I'm a terrible person. I've been with these people for one night.
No, yeah, she's enjoying it. As far as she's going, it's interesting. She's someone who seeks freedom, and she's someone who is tied to the gang. And so her whole going off and chasing this new exciting thing is definitely something she's gonna keep pursuing, perhaps at a cost. So it's gonna be interesting to see how she deals with that, and how she deals with, trying to be a okay person, because she's not a very good person.
Okay.
So we'll see how she deals with that and what form her freedom seeking will take. But until then, you guys can find me over on Twitter at Kiana S. It's the best way to figure out what I'm doing at any point, because I am all over the internet, playing games and all that fun stuff. But I'll highlight what I do on the channel, because I'm on the channel a lot. I am I'm here every Monday. On Wednesdays, I DM One Shot Wonders, which is my series of D&D 5e one-shots with a new setting every month. We get new people in every time. It's super cool. We're doing Feywild this month and Dark Sun next month. We have some pretty cool things in the works. We're working on some stuff for Patreon, for the Scratchkiss Patreon. So if you're not supporting that, support that, because we got some cool background content. And if you guys follow me on Twitter, you know that I've been planning a Lady Blackbird long-term campaign, which is likely coming to this channel at some point, probably in September. So definitely keep up with that. And I'm excited to see how this plot continues to thicken, and as we continue to unravel it, because I'm confused.
Excellent. Brilliant. Just where I want you. And last but most certainly not least, the lovely Dinah Kennedy.
Hi everybody, I'm Dinah Kennedy. I'm Dinah Kennedy 13 on Twitter. I'm new to Twitch and Twitter and tabletop role-playing games in general, and you can find me on this channel here on Monday nights. I'm also going to be playing in a one-shot on August 22nd with the Strahd-slaying ladies from Castle Mac Raven and Castle Mac Lydia, who are both good friends of mine. I really enjoy the adventure, particularly the investigative aspects. I do a lot of investigative work IRL, so it's fun to apply that in the game. And I think what we'll see more from Dinah is kind of just her sad life. There's graves and cemeteries and, a room where children once lived, but they're not there anymore. But there's also a deep strength beneath all of that. And so it's kind of a balance where she's gotten to where she is through all the sacrifices she's made. And I think we'll get to see that aspect of her persona play into it. I most likely won't be here next week because of Gen Con. I have to travel to Indianapolis a little early for some clients. But we'll see if I can make it on or not.
Okay, Well, that's fine. We'll work that out as we go. Your links are in Twitter already, are in the chat already, so people can find you. I suppose that just leaves me. I'm Scraticus. This is my channel. Here are my social links. You can find my Discord there, which is full of lovely people who are D&D mad, friendly, inclusive. It's a wonderful place. I'm very proud of them. If you guys would like to play a game, I saw someone mention earlier about would I do a City of Mist one shot. Don't see why not. If you want to come and get into a game, just send me a DM and I will put you in the diary and we will get you a game. Simple as that. And also my YouTube is there where I am desperately catching up with this weekend's games. I did 10 games this weekend and that takes a bit more rendering time than one a day, so I'm a little behind, but they'll be catching up soon. I posted my Patreon just a second ago, but there it is again. And also I have merch too, which is available there. Sort of looks like that. It's got the crest on. It's on the emotes and stuff, so there are. That's me. I hope you guys are enjoying this. Enjoying the story so far. This week, tomorrow we've got Wizards and Wardrobes on at 2 p.m. EST, where we are following the party who are now trapped in a cave after there's been a bit of a horrific death in the party. The last couple of episodes have been a bit raw. On Wednesday, we are back with Feywild One Shot Wonders, as Kiana mentioned. On Thursday, I'm over on Encounter Roleplay, playing the Larkspur sequence, which is another City of Mist campaign. On Friday, I'm running a one-shot at 6 p.m. EST, and we have Quinn Sowers of Heroes Not Included coming on the channel at noon to run a one-shot with us in his particular style. Then, at the weekend, I've got 4 games on Saturday, and at the moment, I've got Sunday off, but that might change. Thank you very much, you guys. I've really enjoyed today's game. We are going to go over and raid not so speed runs. So when we get in chat over there, I'd appreciate if you guys brought the hype with you. If you don't have access to the hype emote, that's fine. Just fill the chat with Scrat hypes in words, and we will go and yeah, try and bring a smile. Oh, hi, Lindy. So thank you guys. Thank you very much. I'm thoroughly enjoying it, and next week we will see if we can really start driving this plot forward. I'll see you next week. Bye.
All right.
Keep evoking emotions.